Hey, what's guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about cordless staplers, okay? Not just any staplers, but crown staplers. So this right here is a Metabo HPT 18 volt cordless 1 1/8 inch crown stapler, and it runs on their 18 volt platform, shoots 18 gauge crown staples. And if you don't know what 1 1/2 inch crown staplers are, that's probably like 38 millimeters, okay? And it doesn't technically use air, but uses a spring drive type system, and it can shoot roughly up to 700 staples per a charge on a small 2 amp hour battery. So, if that's a lot to think about, then, think about it, mainly because, a crown stapler is really useful in a lot of places. And most of the times when you want to use a crown stapler, it may be like this, or it may be on soffit, or somewhere where you don't want to be dragging an air hose, right? So did Metabo HPT, who's, kind of known for making some good cordless nail guns, make a good crown stapler? Let's find out. This is the Pro Preferred brand of pneumatic nailers, and this is the 18 volt multi-volt 18 gauge 1 1/2 inch crown stapler. It is a narrow crown stapler, and it will meet the expectations of both the DIYer and the pro. This cordless crown stapler allows you to work anywhere without the need of a compressor or an air hose. It can deliver up to 700 crown staples per charge, and it features the unique low maintenance mechanical spring drive system. With this power and runtime, you can complete your job without needing to stop and change batteries. Okay, it has a low center of height and weight. It fits in tight places, weighs only 5.7 pounds. It has a super fast response time with no ramp up time. It has an LED. It has a toolless depth drive adjustment system with sequential actuation. It fastens staples up to 1 1/2 inch 18 gauge crown staples, and as short as 1/2 inch. Okay, you can buy this as a tool only or a kit. I bought this one as a tool, and if you as a kit, and if you buy it as a kit, it comes with a 2 amp hour battery charger. You get the caps, obviously the hook, and the safety glasses. This is backed by Metabo HPT's warranty, and if you use it professionally, it is backed by a 5-year warranty. All right, so this right here, left hand part of the tool, and if you take a look at it, it's pretty standard Metabo stuff. Okay, all this green stuff is plastic. You got some of the stuff here that's rubber overmolded, like this part, but this part up here is also rubber overmolded, right? So almost all the black stuff on this tool is rubber overmolded, except for obviously the rails and stuff like that. But you'll see on here, this right here is pretty narrow, right? Usually this part up here will be pretty big for like an air cylinder, or this part down here will be pretty big for an air cylinder. Excuse that charger, there's other batteries charging in the background. But like I said, it's pretty small and compact, mainly because of the mechanical spring drive system. Okay, so on this side, you'll see it has a belt hook. You can put the belt hook on this side or this side, depending on where you want to put your belt hook. It does have a lockout switch, right? So if you put it here, the trigger is pressable. But if you put it here, the trigger is not pressable, so it's locked out, right? This feature is actually very necessary on this tool, mainly because unlike other cordless nailers that Metabo HPT makes, this doesn't have a button where you would push buttons to turn it on, right, to activate the tool or change the modes or any of that stuff. This has nothing to turn on. Once the battery is engaged, the tool is considered live and active. Okay, obviously pressing this won't do anything, right, because this is locked out. But even if it's unlocked, it won't do anything because the safety mechanism that requires you to have it pressed down against the material, right? So that's kind of one reason I want to point that out. This really doesn't have any buttons for anybody to mess with. That's how that really works. Okay, as you can see in design, it's pretty long up here, mainly because the mechanical drive system doesn't have any compressed air or any of that stuff to work with, but you have to pretty much use a spring to drive the force that drives the nail. Okay, so with that being said, if you look here, it's a single finger trigger. It's pretty comfortable, as you would imagine. 5.7 pounds is not too bad. This is not the battery that comes with it. It comes with a 2 amp hour battery. This is the battery that I just had on hand while we were using the tool. Okay, moving on to this side, nothing really going else on up in here. If you go around to the top and back part, really nothing else going on up in here. As you can see, it's a pretty standard tool. Okay, so if you want to go look at the depth adjustment system, that's right here. As you can see, move it to this way to pull it up, move it this way to pull it down. If you get it jammed up, you can easily pull this open right here, like so, right? lift this up and then clear the jam and then put it back, okay? I would say of all the hundreds of staples I've drove so far with this tool, it has not had a single issue with jamming or anything else. To be fair, I've only been using 1-inch staples, so you know, people's results may vary on certain things, but it's pretty easy to use. It's there, pretty, you know, no frills, no thrills, right? On this side is the lever mechanism to open the cartridge for the staples. As you can see here, the way you would open it is you pull this here, press this button here, and it will open. As you can see here, the staples I have loaded in here are actually loaded here at the top, right? So here they are. Like I said, these are the 1-inch Metabo HPT staples, and if you were to put it in, just put it here on the rail, push it up, right? So instead of having the staple sit down, the staples have to sit up. You press the rail engagement system on there, and then there you go, right? So now you're ready to go and staple away. As you can see here, there is an LED light on both sides, which is actually interesting and really nice, mainly because if you're using this to staple upwards, right, against like a beadboard in a corner or something like that, or some trim or whatever it may be dark in that corner, and I have experienced this. Light, job site, work lighting and all that stuff doesn't get everywhere, and sometimes when you're looking at in a corner or somewhere upside down, that's actually probably some of the most darkest spots you can see. So having that light there illuminating what you are doing. So see if we can get it in action, okay? We have it right here, up, nothing happens, nothing happens. Pull it down, right? So it works pretty well. As you can see, if you look right here, it's driven in perfectly, not overdriven, not underdriven. And of course, you can adjust that with the adjustment mechanism drive here, whichever you need to go, okay? So the other thing I'll point out on here that most people may not know is that this doesn't have bump fire action or rapid fire action if you're a pass load user, right? So you can hold the trigger down, nothing is happening, right? Because this tool only functions in sequential fire, okay? So right, so you have to pull it. So if you're, you know, going really fast and you need bump fire, this is probably not going to be the tool for you. But as you just saw, you can, you know, activate or actuate the trigger fast, and you know that's not going to be a problem for you. But yes, it will be much more tiring than holding it and just bump firing. So make sure you know that if you're buying this tool, it is not bump fire capable. The other thing I want to point out on here is it has this no marring tip, which you can pull off as a little rubber tip. They do include a second one right here on the tool. That's what this is right here, the second one, in case you were to lose that or the wear out, just in case you need to put it up against, let's say, pre-painted surfaces and you lose this bit or this little tip, right? There's a backup one on here for you. If you just lose that one, then, you know, I don't know, to order another one or use some tape or something, right? But other than that, that's how that really works. Let's show you one more time. As you saw, if you just go too fast, you know, you won't have full time to unengage this and pull the trigger again. But like I said, works fairly well. All right, so that tool is pretty straightforward. There's really no frills or no thrills. There's also some limitations with bump firing and stuff like that. But the interesting thing to take away here is that there's no air canisters and stuff like that involved, where it compresses air and just like shoots it with like that compressed air action. As you can hear, it's sometimes you would consider a lot louder because you got the hammering action of the spring or whatnot to drive the staple, right? But you know, that probably doesn't bother me too much, mainly because anybody using a nail gun understands there's going to be some loud noises, whether it's pneumatic or, you know, hammer action or flywheel, whatever, right? People are just going to understand it's going to be a loud thing, right? So the main thing I take away here is no air, no bump fire, but it does work really well, okay? So let's talk about the cost, because the question is, would I buy this again? And to answer the question, we'll say I did buy this with their own monies. Nobody sent this to us. It's not sponsored, not anything like that. Right now, this tool goes around for $150 to $170, depending on where you can find it on sale, for the whole tool. And the tool kit, right? So the battery and charger, glass and all that stuff included. As I mentioned earlier, this is not the battery that comes with it. It comes with a 2 amp hour battery, 2 amp hour battery. So if you were to, let's say, buy it as a kit for $170 at, you know, high pricing or whatnot, is it worth it to you? I would say most definitely yes, because you know, with just using it to put up, I think it was like 6 panels maybe, 6 panels just upside down is a huge lifesaver than rather having to use one with the cord, right, where you're just dragging the cord, ladders, and it gets in tight places, whatever. It's going to be a huge lifesaver, right? So 170 bucks, you know, I would say is a really good deal for a tool like this. So the question is, would I buy it again? Most definitely yes. I actually bought this one at our local Lowe's. I think it was about 150 for the kit, so it's even better, okay? Obviously it comes with no staples, but that's pretty standard, so just get your own staples and get to working, right? So we use it to also staple some chloroplast to make some backdrops and stuff like that, and that was pretty standard. You know, make sure when you do that kind of stuff, don't overdrive the nails or whatnot, you know, pretty standard. But like I said, panel work or even soffit denting, this tool is probably going to be a lifesaver, and it is fairly light for a cordless air gun or a battery powered cordless air gun. So like I said, lifesaver. So do I think this is a good tool and lasts for a long time? Probably. Hope that these videos helped you guys out. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great day, get back to work, and we'll see you guys next time.